Good evening and welcome to our Aussie Icc-Iec-Mfc-At2U training and update. Thanks for joining us. There'll be a few more people coming, I'm sure. We're just getting it started at the top of the hour, and it's my pleasure to be here. Starting a new month, an exciting new month. We have lots of things in play, and hopefully we'll see our funding this month, and that's our goal, and it's certainly our work, and it's our opportunity to move forward. We have contracts that have been created to do some amazing things. We have two brokers, one in the United States and one in Australia. And one in Australia is prepared to bring buyers of U.S. Treasuries to the table, and the one in the United States is prepared to bring the already existing treasuries to the table until we get everything finalized with U.S. Treasury Direct. And so these two brokers are reviewing contracts right now to join them together. One of the important things to understand is the new development in being able to offer a discount, more so than what U.S. Treasury would offer, and this is super exciting. So we'll be seeing a major push on U.S. Treasuries. One of the challenges we have is the people that are buying U.S. Treasuries right now have their normal sources to buy from, so why would they switch if the price is pretty much the same? But due to the uniqueness of these new contracts, we're in a position to be able to offer 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10% discount, depending upon the size of the requirements of U.S. Treasuries. And this is done through our IEC discounting process. And so the contracts, there's 3 separate contracts that have to be signed, and that's under review. Once it's done, we'll be able to offer these U.S. Treasuries at huge discounts. I mean, quarter point, half point is usually the kind of discounts I'm told that are available, but to offer a 5% discount will bring us some new business, move some people to action, and certainly we'll be seeing some major movement towards bringing banks into the fold as well, because they would love to have U.S. Treasuries, and through this new protocol they'll be able to get them as well. They're not even dealing direct. So we're really blessed to be in the position that we're in, and so that's exciting. Also, I guess on the dinar and global revaluation, I'm hearing rumors that between now and the 4th, the government of Iraq will be seated, new government, and so there should be some announcements of the revaluation of the Iraqi dinar this week. They say it may drag out to the 15th, but the global currency reset is set to go as well. I don't know if they'll be doing them simultaneously or whatever the situation is. Obviously, it's been more than a long time coming, but that's good news. And on the IBOM front, a rumor, that's all it is that something is going to happen after the 17th of this month, and so that may occur, that may not. But that came from a pretty viable source. I'm just not at liberty to tell you. But just know that IBOM's working diligently to do what they need to do behind the scenes as well. So we're all working very hard in administrative efforts and capacities. What we really need for you folks to do is to work really hard in the protocols to bring people on board so that we can survive. I mean, I've got to eat, I've got to pay my rent. I've been blessed to squeak through with my rent this month, but we need to eat, and we need to pay our phone bill and our internet bill. And if you folks are not out there actively promoting the programs that we have, My Fuel Club, still a fabulous opportunity to get BBK. It will happen. It's just a matter of the 9 million becoming from the trades, and in the meantime, though, we can still promote My Fuel Club, and it's still a great opportunity for people to get involved to get BBK. Also, and thanks to you, $2.50 share it with 4 people, they do the same. Now the challenge is people just don't work. And then they wonder why they don't get any money. So these are working programs. Our latest effort discussed last week was our new 3-part do what successful people do and you'll become successful and wealthy too. And so I really would love for you to be actively promoting ICC memberships to businesses. And those of you that have sponsored places, please get out there and share the opportunity to become an ICC member. Credit, no charge up front, pay me when you're rich. If the program works, you'll pay me. If it doesn't for you, then obviously you won't. But in the meantime, go to your gas stations that you deal with, your grocery stores, your clothing stores, any of the stores that you frequent on a regular basis, go and offer them the opportunity. If they say, well, what's it all about? Well, then say, look, you know, you can get yourself 25% in chips. Chips are like air miles. You can accumulate them and then use them within the system. Chips have been vetted by the U.S. attorneys, the legal system, and so they are actual currency. If you live in the United States and you have a lot of them and you don't share them on your taxes, you could be fined and taxed because they consider them currency. This has happened to a member already. So very valuable, first part, and then say, look, you know, let me show you what successful wealthy people do, and let me show you how you can get 10% on your money for the year. And the beautiful part about the program is that by purchasing tickets USD IEC is that these purchases are commercial transactions and that money is spent. So say, look, just start with $100, come learn with us over this next year, and we'll show you how you'll end up with $100 plus $10 interest plus $250 in documentary funds. And we'll show you how to access those funds as well. It'll be received in tickets, and Bright Star Work Center will buy back your 360 chips that you'll receive. And if you want to use the documentary funds other ways, you can too. And they say, well, you mean if I can get 10% on the account, can I put more money in? Now, I sent out an email to our old database, of which you people are not a part of. And there's over 7,000 members, and that went out on Monday. And I've already had 2 people champing at the bit, actively wanting to get involved in that protocol. And one of them today said, is there a minimum? Is there a maximum? Can I spend more money? Can I do more things with this program? So there are people out there actively wanting this program. But if you're not telling people about it, they'll never know about it. So I really, really need you to be actively promoting this, because Eddie, myself, the administrative folks, all need to be able to sustain themselves until the big funds come. That's your job, that's your work, and that's certainly your opportunity to increase your membership base, which helps us all. So please actively promote this for us all to be able to sustain ourselves. All right, so that's, let's see, contracts or updates. The document that I was talking about, let me see if I can share screens. And let's just see, let's try this one. And please type in whether or not you can see the screen. I better do it again. Here we go. The concept of leverage of time. I'm sure you've heard that statement before. I'd rather have 1% of the efforts of 100 people rather than 100% of my own efforts. Are you doing this in your present life? Most likely not. What if you could? Wouldn't that solve the leverage of time issue? But how can you do it? Well, Bright Star Work Center has arranged to provide any committed to success ICC member with Zcash credit. This is a fabulous opportunity to become a sponsor with ICC and with Brightstar. You must have a one-member place and some silver memberships to use for sponsoring of new private ICC members, and this costs a lot of money. You'll need to do two things to qualify for the Zcash credit opportunity. First of all, brand new members must purchase a minimum of 100 tickets USD IEC to participate in the Brightstar Work Center Fetus Bank contract. And number two, you must commit in writing your business plan and how you'll actively sponsor a minimum of 3 new members who do the same or more. And you must also commit to teaching them to do the same or more. Upon completion of points 1 and 2, you'll be granted a one-member sponsor place, $200,000, and 10K worth of silver memberships, which is 10 of them, to get to work and learn to make some serious money. That's our commitment to you. What's in it for me, you ask? Well, plenty. For every new ICC member you personally sponsor and teach to follow in your footsteps, the sponsor can receive 5.25% of the value of tickets USD IEC in exchange for chips being registered because of the transaction. Now, go and look at the whole protocol again, getting it done. But the example is you introduce a new member who sees the benefits, cashes in their RRSP in Canada, 401k savings in the United States, or whatever you have in Australia that's making no money, or they've got it somewhere else, who knows. And they purchase $50,000 worth of tickets USD IEC. Now that seems like a lot, but it's not if they're losing money in those savings portfolios. They need to get it into a safe and secure place. And remember, even though Fetus Bank is in Mexico, the actual funds for Fetus Bank are held in HSBC London. Okay? So you have to understand it's super safe, super secure. You may submit your exchange request for chips exchange via email to Brightstar, and for that transaction you would receive $2,625. That's just the 5.25%, less any bank wire transfer fees. The goal is to introduce these protocols to already successful and wealthy people, business people that are buying and selling stuff, and they're out there. You have all kinds of retailers, wholesalers, and they're already in the money. They need better ways to do it. Now, the beautiful part is that if you have a memorandum of understanding, you have documentary funds, then you can also receive the not just 5.25%, but the 37.5%, bringing it up to 42.75% of every dollar that they buy with tickets USD IEC. So again, in a $100,000 capitalization of a bank contract with Fetus through this protocol, getting it done, you would receive $47,750. So pretty darn exciting. So, and you get the chips too. So it's all there. Let's go back. All right, so hopefully you saw that. If not, you heard it, and you know where it is. It's in the document. It's on the website. And you can find those documents. I'm putting them now in a much easier place to find, right underneath the actual webinar that they apply to. So that should solve your problem in having to Skype me and say, where's the documents? Well, they're there. Now, let's just take a quick look at Financial Hope News and the updates. This was sent to me by one of you folks from Australia, and I'm just have elaborated on it. This is an issue that definitely causes me great concern. Religious tolerance can be very challenging when it comes to Satanism and other weird beliefs, but this is a reality threat, and I didn't even realize I spelled realities wrong there, and has such a huge following. I'm not going to read all this, but you probably have had a chance to see it, and you certainly are aware of it, because in Australia, I believe your Prime Minister told the people to either become Australians or pack your bags and get the heck out of Dodge, which was the smartest thing that they could have ever said. It's not politically correct, of course, but the point is is that you're going to lose your country. And Canada's in the same situation. The European nations are even much worse, and they just come in and use the system to their advantage. My 73-year-old buddy Tomas Garcia lives across the road from a very large apartment building, of which has been taken over by Muslims, and they're actually buying up all the property in this old part of his neighborhood. And he says it's getting very scary. Even the police don't go in there unless they're on horses. Can you believe that? That's how fearful they are of these Somalians, who are just absolutely crazy people. They're radicals. So I'm sorry if I've offended any of our Muslim friends, because I know the Muslim friends we have in the program are not these radicals. And hopefully you'll see the light and make some changes in your lifestyle of what your beliefs are. And I mean, this is just downright sinful, as far as I'm concerned, to have a child as young as 1 year old, and that is really sick. Dowries given to the family in exchange for the woman, so obviously that's slavery, and she can't get a divorce, she can't prove rape. How do you get 4 guys to say, yep, this guy over here raped her? Not likely. And often after the woman's been raped, she's returned, the dowry's been returned, and then they kill her. The family has the right to execute her. What the heck is going on here? What kind of insanity is that? Sharia Muslim law controls the private and public life of every woman out there. So I don't know how these women can escape it, but we certainly can't be promoting this Sharia law anywhere, as far as I'm concerned. Keep it in your own country. Stay in your own country. If you want to live those laws, stay there. Don't come to our countries. That's my personal opinion. You may not like it, but that's who I am, and I'm very vocal about it. That's all we're going to say about that. This is information I do want to share with you, and Marianne did a great job. She's always thinking, always wanting to improve her knowledge, and so she's the very first person to receive the first package. She's got a 1-member sponsor place and 10 silver memberships. We talked about it yesterday, and we'll be launching her efforts this coming month. Now, she did send in some notes on the hotel story corollary, so again, I've used a bold print. So I'm going to review this with you, and hopefully you're seeing it, but I guess you're not. So let me go ahead and get that done. Why do I keep doing that? All right, so you should be seeing that soon. I know there's a delay. You can always let me know if you are seeing it. You can Skype me, or you can use the chat so that I know that you are seeing these screens. So this is an example of using money without taking it out of an account. No loans, just circulation. That's what the hotel story was all about, to get you to understand the simplicity of the idea of circulation and the platform in order to allow that to happen. ICC is looking to trade and to do business amongst themselves, leaving out the profits taken by banks and such things as leaving the profit for the participating or doing the work. Absolutely. We want to have our own private economy. Banks are welcome, but banks aren't needed. We have our own private economy with these 3 valuable currencies, one backed by gold, precious metals, and gemstones. That's BVK. And the other 2 are vetted by the U.S. judicial system and the IRS as being legal, but more importantly, lawful currency to use within our private economy. And we'll use the ICC protocols to get documentary funds, like the real estate protocol, yes. Or you can do something like what Ben said to do regarding Gary's desire to purchase gold in the paradigm shift notes. The documentary funds in that case are connected to the BVK credit, and my answer to that was yes, there are many ways to get documentary funds. Her question goes on to say, not sure how to get BVK other than my fuel club. I recall talking to Griff, who talked about converting documentary funds or international bills of exchange and promissory notes to BVK. And my answer to that was yes, this was done when the ICC members purchased a mortgage busting team membership and a BTM, which most of you have done, and took the added value, no cost bonus of documentary funds and paid $400 in admin tickets to transfer ownership to IBOM for BVK. You can get BVK several ways by using various ICC protocols. One that would be the easiest for you to use and to promote would be Employee Gold. So there's another opportunity when you're going out and sponsoring businesses. Offer them Employee Gold. There's no cost to them. They just follow the protocols, get their business on board, get their BVK, and learn how to turn the BVK into USD. You can even start your own business by submitting your business plan, and away you go. Show every business in your area to do the same. Everybody wins and can participate in our private commerce through capitalism economy. Our questions go on to say, I understand that documentary funds are backed by USD at Fetus. Is that correct? Yes, but they are also backed by other assets, gold, oil, natural gas. I'm confused about where documentary funds come from or what they're based on. Well, just go to the document itself. It tells you exactly where they come from. They come from diversified business interests. And you can read all the pertinent information on international bills of exchange on chips-corner.com, WAP and IBO. And more general information on bills of exchange and international bills of exchange are available on that link. And so maybe following the real estate protocol example will help my question. All right, so let's say $100,000 of real estate equity for my home is used for a Fetus Bank contract for the new leveraging real estate protocol. One of the immediate benefits is that I get $250 in documentary funds, $250,000 that means, or in other words, an IBO and promissory note. How is that generated? See above, okay? Or from what is it generated? BBII creates the documents upon direction from the leadership of the Blue Millennium Foundation. So she says, why is it that amount? Well, that's what they chose. This is the formula created by the leadership. What's being traded or purchased? Nothing is being traded or purchased. If you want to use documentary funds as is, you can. You can circulate them like the hotel example. Also reread Antel Ficchetti's documents many more times. Watch the webinars. You need to grasp this stuff. You can use the second page of the International Bill of Exchange example and follow that to receive USD through discounting. Someday you may even find an institution that will give you full face value of the International Bill of Exchange, as all of the issued IBOs are created at 125% of the required funding to cover IEC discounting. So who is billed for what? No one is being billed. This is real money. Reread Ficchetti's info. I'm billing ICC for giving 100,000 USD? No. Again, reread the protocols. I also understand that there would be 100,000 in DFs in 1 year and 10% interest. One could continue a yearly contract, and that is correct. In the following, a simplified version of what's transpiring at the time regarding converting DFs into USD. IEC is set up to discount documentary funds, convert them into cash for a 20% fee. That's correct. They plan to discount them by using documentary funds to purchase U.S. Treasuries in large quantities, either direct or through a broker, and use the brokerage firm to trade in the U.S. Treasuries until profits are achieved that equal or exceed the value of the documentary funds. That is correct. Documentary funds holder would receive documentary funds value minus the 20% deposited in the designated account. Yes, but as stated above, they're issued at 125, so that 20% doesn't affect what you receive. And so she's getting it, and hopefully you are too. Phenomenal. All right. Could somebody please just chat briefly and tell me that you are receiving the, you're seeing the documents that we're talking about here? And I'll continue because I won't go back and redo the screen. Please chat to me. Or are we back to this problem of you not being able to chat? Errol, can you please Skype me? Or Leon, can you please Skype me? Let me know what's going on. Are you there? All right, well, I'm going to continue on. Okay, so today's material, let's get started on that. We're going to be going to our chips-corner.com website, and there's two new documents. We have a whole new store called the Energy Store. We'll be spending some serious time on this over this week and next week, understanding how to best use it. But again, our focus is going to be on getting new members through the ICC sponsorship program that we've reviewed this today. And so the Energy Store is just going to be an expansion of that. But we do need new blood, new members that have energy projects. Now, does that mean that you have to have an energy project? Well, you can create an energy project. We've been given the opportunity, and this will be great for you, Errol. We have 18 car dealerships in the United States that we're going to be supporting with this new Energy Store protocol. And we can offer them the ability to floor plan their entire inventory through the Energy Store protocol with the mindset that new vehicles provide less exhaust emissions. And so that's how we're going to fudge that into the Energy Store. You could do that with tractors and combines. The new machinery is much more efficient and cleaner, and we need to get rid of the old stuff and get the new stuff. And so that could be used as well. The other thing that we're going to be looking at now is open letters to center. And this is an update as to where we are at this present moment in history. And it'll give you a good general overview of what's in place and how you can use all these protocols. Many members of the Internet Catalog Club have accumulated great wealth in club currencies, Zcash, chips, and also in BBK. Members are offered various paths through chips-corner.com to use their club currencies or BBK to obtain lawful USD currency in the form of documentary funds. Many of you have already moved forward with MOUs. I've got 2 more people coming through this next week on MOUs because they want USD. So you can do the same. That option is still available. International Energy Corporation offers to discount documentary funds to provide members USD deposit funds in any institutions members may choose. USD deposits funds and are provided USD deposit funds are provided by FETUS to be used as a legal basis for buying and selling senior financial instruments for IEC to execute the payment protocol for the IBO in documentary funds so that IEC can fund their discounting. U.S. Department of Treasury provides treasuries that can serve as senior financial instruments to be traded for profits that may be used to execute the IBO payment protocol. IEC is contracted for professional licensed traders to execute requisite buy-sells to produce profits for IEC to pay for contracted discounting of documentary funds. And the Energy Store, found just above the green and red columns of the entries of chips-corner.com, provides motivation and method for treasuries to be acquired by others to support the execution of the payment protocol of IBO so that discounting may be completed. I'm going to read that one again. The Energy Store, found above the green and red columns, provides motivation for you and I and method for treasuries to be acquired by others to support the execution of the payment protocol of the International Bills of Exchange so that discounting may be completed. We can get free treasuries. Pretty darn exciting. Anyone that contracts for discounting of documentary funds may accelerate the process and assure discounting of their documentary funds is being focused on by promoting business related to the Energy Store. Such promotion can also result in solid personal income as a contracted intermediary, as well as help combat climate change and help resolve energy problems and fund related projects. So if you've got projects, this can help you. If you are in the energy business or know people that are, this can help them and you. And certainly you can pick up, if you have documentary funds, MOU in play, you'll pick up not only the 5.25%, but the 37.5% as well. And that's huge on whatever these people move forward with. In short, the Energy Store is an important addition to the set of tools that members have to productively use their club currencies and BVK. It also closes the loop for funding in readily acceptable currencies to be used in business outside of the club. So this is an easy way for you to get immediate CHIPS exchange for cash as these people move forward. And there's a new twist, which we're going to discover, that makes it palatable for those that didn't want to spend money on tickets USD IEC. So let's go and take a look at the new Energy Store. And again, all orders of Energy Store customers need to be placed through Bright Star Work Center. And so even though it says you'll be doing this directly, you'll be doing it with my help. So don't be concerned about having to do this without support. All right, so here's what happens. 50% discounted projects using energy solutions plus free U.S. Treasuries. So there's businesses out there that could add solar and receive the funding for their project. They could add any other type of alternative energy solution for their project. And so if they're just going to build an apartment building without solar, they're not going to be able to qualify. But if they add the solar, their project will cost them half as much, and they'll get free U.S. Treasuries. Super enticing. So visit the energy solution in the red column of entries in chips-corner.com. Find out what solutions are available for you to use, and it's so wide open. Number 2, structure a project involving the use of technology and offerings found in the energy solution. Number 3, determine funds you are willing and able to allocate to pay here and after payment for the project. Number 4, in the order section to the left, order tickets USD energy solution or tickets Euro energy solution equal in value to the payment. So we're looking at the same protocols. Difference is there is a $2,000 administrative fee to participate in this protocol right up front. Okay, then a minimum of 10,000 USD is needed as well. But there's several ways with which this can be paid, as we'll see in just a moment. At checkout, when ordering, provide in your Notice to Us section an identifying name or code for the project. So again, I'll be doing this order, so I'll be working with the candidates you bring to the table, yourself or others. Number 6, a number of tickets USD will be stipulated by the market basket as required to process the order for tickets USD ES. These must be acquired and provided as a non-refundable payment for back office processing. That's the 2,000 that I was talking about. Number 7, in a separate subsequent transaction, order the tickets USD as indicated below and send payment as stipulated, referencing the order number of the invoice for the tickets USD when sending the payment. So that $2,000 will be sent via wire or whatever protocol we have available. Number 8, send an email to me. I will send it to the Energy Store at Change 2100 describing in detail the project with the identifying name or code as the subject, as well as the invoice number and payment confirmation of your tickets USD acquired for back office processing, along with contact information for someone to discuss the project with you. Well, I will have already discussed the project with you in advance of sending the $2,000, but it will not go to Energy Store at Change 2100 until the $2,000 has been submitted. Number 9, in the email, also specify your selection of one of the three options, A, B, or C, for you to provide payment you've selected. Now remember, minimum 10,000, and you can spiral this 10,000 up to whatever the amount may be. It'll just take more time to do it. So if you got 50,000, start with 50. If you got 100, start with 100. So let's take a look at these options. A, your bank or brokerage firm shall send the payment to a brokerage account in the USA that is used for this purpose by the USA firm that manages funds for the energy store. If your project is approved, you would be provided the coordinates for this account, and your bank or brokerage firm would coordinate directly with the USA brokerage firm as to the manner of transmittal of funds. You would be responsible for any charges levied by your bank or brokerage firm. So, in this particular example, you're not buying tickets USD IEC. You're actually sending your funds through your bank and your brokerage firm, and so that sometimes gives a comfort zone beyond buying the tickets USD IEC. The second option is very similar. Your bank or brokerage firm shall send the payment to a brokerage account used for this purpose by a trust managed by a trustee that is a Swiss banking attorney for the private bank Fides. Now, this is basically for Europeans and perhaps Australians who do not want to send money to the United States. Okay, so we have the US option A, and then we have B, which is set up to be sending the funds to the Swiss banking attorney for the private bank Fides and the trust. The energy store is a client of Fides. If your project is approved, you would provide the coordinates for this account, and your bank or brokerage firm would coordinate with the trustee as to the manner of transmittal of funds. You'd be responsible for any charges levied by your brokerage firm and or the trustee, and that would all be explained up front. C, now this is for $15 million or more. All right, you would establish an account with an investment services division of a bank or with a brokerage firm, which account must be capable of being used for electronic trading. You would deposit the payment in that account, and you would add the name of the trust described in option B to the account. So let's just say, Leon, your tractor company finally wakes up and sees the value of this. They've got 15 million. They're going to do their floor plan. They can go ahead and set up this account. The money stays in their account, and it's traded through this protocol. The bank or brokerage firm must provide their version of a limited power of attorney that would allow the trust to assign professional traders to execute non-depletion transactions that do not diminish the value in the account and without authority to withdraw any funds from the account. However, all profits after brokerage and transaction fees from trading must be transferable and or dispersible at the sole discretion of the trustee. You'd be responsible for any setup charges levied by your bank or brokerage firm and or the trustee. Availability of this option will be subject to a minimum payment, and that's $15 million to be placed therewith, which will be determined by Fides as advised by the trustee and professional traders available to be assigned for their service. Now, there could be some modifications to that, but that's what I was told. Number 10, once your project has been approved by an email sent to you, you would provide payment for the tickets USD ES or for the tickets Euro ES as per the option that you've selected above. Okay, so it's a two-phase protocol. Number 11, once payment is received as per your selected option, the energy store would have Fides provide several sets of documentary funds. Lawful USD currency, commercial instruments guaranteed payable by Fides. These are related to the project, to the energy store, and the energy store would contract with the International Energy Corporation to have these discounted to provide USD funds deposited in the bank chosen by the beneficiary. A, the first set is going to be documentary funds, hereinafter called intermediary documentary funds, equal to 125% of the value amount agreed to be paid to intermediaries would be provided to be discounted to yield 100% of said amounts. These would be provided as service payments by Fides on behalf of the energy store. So this first set is going to cover all the people in doing the work. B, a set of documentary funds hereinafter called treasury documentary funds equal to 250% of the value of the payment. So you send in 10,000, you're going to get 25,000, and then obviously would be provided with the discount to yield 200% of said value. These would be provided by FETUS as a rebate authorized by the Blue Millennium Foundation because of the inclusion of an energy solution concept for clean energy to be accomplished. So you just put in solar panels in your apartment complex, your new home, your factory, come up with some way to create alternative energy usage, clean it up. And C, a set of documentary funds hereinafter project documentary funds equal to the 250% of the value of the payment would be provided to be discounted to yield 200% of said value. These would be provided so that the payment would be provided to you as 50% of the cost. So you've got a $1 million project. It's only going to cost you $500,000 plus you're going to get $500,000 in U.S. Treasuries, free. So what does it cost you? $0 for the project. Now, 12. Once payment has been received, it would be allocated in conjunction with other values held by FETUS and by the Energy Store to be used by professional traders contracted by International Energy Corporation as a basis for non-depletion transactions, execution of the payment protocol of the documentary funds. Number 13, once Treasury DF has been discounted to yield 200% of the value of payment, the resulting funds would be used by the Energy Store to acquire U.S. Treasuries as you may specify, or that you may leave to the discretion of the Energy Store and have these delivered to the coordinates that you may specify. You'd be responsible for any charges related to their delivery. If you provided payment using option C, only 1/2 of the treasuries would be delivered to you, and the other half would be held in escrow until the transaction related to payment is complete. Number 14, once project documentary funds have been discounted to yield the 200% of the value of payment, the resulting funds would be paid by the Energy Store on invoice to suppliers for your project. Since the Energy Store is making all payments, all suppliers must qualify to be involved as per their separate negotiations with the Energy Store. So this is where you need to be bringing people on as sponsors, all their sources. If you're a building contractor, all your trades, everybody needs to be a party to this protocol, and they all need to be actively promoting this protocol. Number 15, once Treasury documentary funds, project documentary funds, and intermediary documentary funds have been discounted to provide their respective yields, once treasuries have been delivered as you may specify, and once an amount equal to 200% of the payment has been paid to suppliers for your project, the total transaction related to the payment would be complete. If you provided payment using option C, you would have the option of retaining payment in your account and relinquishing the treasuries held in escrow, or the escrow treasuries would be delivered to you in exchange for the funds equal to the payment. Number 16, if your project requires more funds than is provided above, you may utilize the process again by ordering additional tickets USD, ES, or tickets Euro. So you can do this and spiral it upwards to any amount you can need. So the 10,000 plus the 25,000, that gives you 35,000. Now you can go ahead and use that 35,000 once the protocol is completed, and go ahead and put the 35,000 to work for you, and 35,000 deposit, and so 35,000 times 250, that's going to move you to 87.5, and so you can see how you can get to 87.5 off of 10,000. And just then take the 87.5 and move it through the 250% and just move it up to whatever you need. Now, obviously, it's going to take time, but where else can you go and get all the funding you need for your project with as little as $10,000 plus $2,000 for the admin fees? Now, what's in it for you and me? For any set of documentary funds, as indicated, a party that will benefit may arrange interim funding to be provided by FETUS by promoting the use of tickets USD IEC to be exchanged for a FETUS bank contract bearing 10% annual interest and the ability to order items valued at 250% of the principal amount. amounts equal to 37.5% of the value of the tickets USD, IEC would be provided as immediate funding for discounting of documentary funds, stipulated by the party promoting the use of tickets USD IEC by others. This process may be reviewed in Getting It Done and in Be in Trader in the red column. So you've got two options with which to work with. You've got one where it says, I don't want to give my money to house services to buy tickets USD IEC. No problem. Then go ahead and choose one of the three options up here, A, B, or C. You got 15 million, go ahead, set up your own account. It's all under your control. We just need to be able to do the trades and move the profits. And if you've got an issue with putting money into the US, then use B. If you've got no issue, use A. So there you have it. Great, great information. Look forward to going into more detail on Thursday with this and giving you some examples. Hopefully I'll have the car dealership example, and we'll have a couple of home examples with adding solar panels and using the same protocol to get your house paid for, buy a new house, etc. All right, well, I have nothing else to add today. I don't see any questions. Maybe you can't respond. I don't know. Nobody's been communicating with me. It just seems like every second webinar we do has these malfunctions in it, and I just don't understand why. So with that said, thank you for being here. I'll get this up on the website as quickly as I possibly can, and we'll look forward to seeing you on Thursday. Great success in all that you do. Get out there and sponsor some people. We'd really appreciate your help. Thank you so much.